Hello everyone, I'm the Saxy Gamer, and today we're going to be taking a look at some more Civilization 7 news. I unfortunately did not get pre-release access to Civ 7 like some other content creators did, so while they are out there playing the game, we are going to go ahead and take a look through some more dev diaries and talk about some things that probably won't be covered in some of the gameplay videos because it's more of a long-term thing than a gameplay thing. So, in this video, we're going over the dev diary number 7, which covers the progression system in Civilization 7, which is known as Legends and Momentos. So we're going to go through this dev diary and then talk about some thoughts and opinions about the systems that it introduces. So let's start off with what is the Legends and Momentos system. Well, they call it in this dev diary as something called a meta progression system, which meta just means that unlike a standard progression system, which are usually tied to immediate mechanics and goals of the game, the meta progression systems are a means of tracking and rewarding progress across multiple playthroughs for an overall game. So it's not something like during a single Civ game, if you do something, you're going to get a reward, but if you complete something, you can think of it kind of like achievements. If you complete something in a game, you're going to receive some reward that you get after that game is over, and then you can use it in the next game, and this goes through many games. So, but first here, they talk about why they created the Legends and Memento systems in the first place. And the long and short of it here are these 3 bullet points here. So, for one, they wanted to make losing more fun. So, they talk about here that for newcomers especially, Civ can be a very difficult game. And after a few errant choices and 100 turns later, you might be faced with crushing defeat that no amount of save scumming can undo. So basically, this system is a way to make it so that way, even if you're losing a game, there's still a reason to keep playing that game a little bit more. Maybe you can unlock something that you can use to help you in another game. The other thing that this system is doing is by providing interesting unlocks at the end of a game, so things that are only going to happen in the modern age, they're trying to help players feel rewarded and give them a reason to continue a game. Because, sometimes in Civ, you get to the point where you feel like you've basically already won a game. Maybe you've lost a little bit of motivation to keep playing it. So this system is something that also can help you have a little bit more motivation. Maybe you want to stick it out until the modern age, do something that you haven't done before, and then get an unlock for it. The last thing, and the thing that I think is probably the best about this system, is they want to encourage broader play. So the nice thing here is that they're offering essentially what are achievement-based challenges, so that way it can help spice up the way you play Civ. It can be very easy to get just kind of in the same rhythm of playing every leader the same way every single time, but with some of these unlocks and legends and achievements and mementos things, it can give you some inspiration to play a different way. Maybe instead of playing a leader for a science victory, they want you to play them for a domination victory or something like that. Or instead of playing a tall game, maybe you play a wide game instead. But yeah, they talk about here by offering just a little bit of encouragement for people to explore the full breadth of what Civ has on offer this time around. There's a chance they'll find exciting new ways to play that they might not have otherwise stumbled upon. So I know people that watch a lot of YouTube videos and stuff like that probably do pick up on some of these, meta ways to play the game, but people that aren't as into the game maybe aren't going to pick up on that stuff. So having these legend unlocks is going to be a way to kind of encourage them to play the game in ways that they did not previously think of. So let's go ahead and get into the actual systems here. So to start off, they have paths. So what they talk about here is like an RPG character. You level up paths over the course of your Civilization 7 games, and they're used to track each path's legend level, check how close you are to the next, and see what kind of unlocks you received, and preview what's to come. So there are 2 types of paths that are going to be introduced in Civilization 7. First is the Foundation path, which is just leveled up by playing any leader that you want. So any game that you play in Civ 7, you're going to be leveling up and gaining XP towards this Foundation path. And this one maxes out at a level of 50 here, so you can see that this one kind of goes for any leader here on the left. And then you can see some of the unlocks that you can get here. So you can get, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that one, but something that gives you +1 cultural attribute points. You can get a badge, which we'll talk about in a little bit. A sword that gives you +400 gold for every settlement returned in a peace deal. Some mementos, an additional memento slot, a gray background color, which is another thing for some customization stuff. And another type of coinage thing that gives you 200 gold at the age, 200 gold per age at the start of an age. So kind of spoiling what's going to happen here, but you can see that some of these unlocks give you bonuses. So in Civilization 7, when you start a game, you can now equip some of these mementos that will give you bonuses either at the start of the game or as the game progresses, like this one down here, which gives you gold per age at the start of each age. So it gives you a little bit more variety in kind of making a loadout for how you go into a game of Civilization 7. Very similarly to the Foundation path, there also is leader paths as well, which are leveled up by playing as individual leaders, and with each leader having their own distinct 10-level track. So for this one, it's challenges that you have to complete as each leader that will give you some things. So I think they're showing the one for Ben Franklin here. So You can see one of the things you can get is bifocals, and you can gain 50 influence after researching a tech or civic mastery. And then I'm not going to go through each one of these individually, but you can see there's also a Ben Franklin badge, and there's unique challenges that are associated with each leader, which I'll scroll down and show you just now. So as I was talking about, to level up each path, you need to earn Legend XP through challenges. So challenges you can think of basically like achievements. So there are unique challenges for both the foundation path and the leader paths, and then there's this little menu that shows you some of the challenges that you both have accomplished and have yet to accomplish. So you can see here they're showing some for Amina. So some of them are just like reach 1 legacy path milestone, 2 legacy path milestones, so on and so forth. There's ones that are unique for Antiquity Age. There are some that are unique for the Exploration and Modern Ages. But in general, these are just quests that you kind of have to do throughout games to get this additional XP to unlock some new things. So what does progression through these paths actually get you? I kind of have mentioned it already, but you get Cosmetic Collectibles and then also these things called Mementos. So for the Cosmetic Collectibles, unfortunately, they are not talking about letting your leaders wear a variety of funny hats, although I would quite like it if you were able to put funny hats on the leaders. Instead, these are just like small rewards that you can get within the customized screen, which they haven't showed us just yet, but you get a player card, which I believe is shown right down here. So each player now is going to have their own player card that shows up when you play multiplayer. So you get a badge, a banner, a title, a border, and a background color. So this would be your username and your 2K username if you have a 2K account. You have a little slogan here, a background. You have your leader pin here, which shows probably your favorite leader, and then your level in the foundation path. So a lot of other games do similar things like this. It's kind of just a way to show off some of the things that you've unlocked and kind of flex how much you've played the game. So for all the sweaty people out there that play 10,000 hours of Civ 7, I'm sure if you join a multiplayer game with them, this thing's going to be absolutely tricked out. But a lot of the Cosmetic Collectibles are things that go towards customizing your player card. So yeah, they talk about here, your player card appears on the main menu and will be shown off to other players in places like multiplayer lobbies, and the customized screen itself serves as a nice trophy case of your shiny achievements, so that's kind of what they're showing for some of this stuff over here. Now let's talk about the things that are a little bit more interesting, which are the mementos. So they say here that they are probably the biggest addition earned through Legends, which I would probably agree. So these are equipment that you can attach to your leader's open memento slots during game setup, like a piece of gear on an RPG character. Mementos provide a broad array of bonus effects when equipped. So I mentioned earlier, it's kind of like your loadout, and that's exactly what happens. So every leader has a maximum of 2 memento slots with nearly 100 unique mementos you can earn. And then here they give some examples of what you may find. So this one provides a straightforward +1 economic attribute point for you to spend right at the start of the game. You can get one from Harriet Tubman that gives you a free migrant unit in your capital for each successful undetected espionage action. And then this one also, you can get like a sword. You can give your leader a sword that grants you bonus gold per age for every settlement you mercifully return to the vanquished in a peace deal. So you can see that whenever you start up a game of Civilization 7, you'll choose your leader, and then you can pick these 2 mementos, so you're allowed a maximum of 2, as they say. And then these are going to give you bonuses either throughout the game or just at the start of the game. And here's some of the things that they talk about. These mementos are earned by leveling up specific leaders, but you can use them on any leader. So you can get a memento with Charlemagne, and then if you start a new game with Ashoka, you can use the Frankish Emperor's legendary gold-hilted sword to still give you a bonus, even though you're not playing as Charlemagne anymore. This might be a little bit interesting if you're playing Ben Franklin with a big sword and maybe like a giant helmet or something. That might look a little wacky and kind of break the immersion. So that's one negative that I do kind of have with this system. But one thing that they do mention here, for those of you who are worried about the balance of this in multiplayer games, you can disable them for all players during multiplayer if you want. So I think the thing that I really like here is the fact that it's a lot of content and things that you can, try out if you want, but you also don't have to do any of this. You can just leave them unequipped if you don't want to use anything. For people who like to play the game at its most difficult, you probably don't want to equip any of the mementos, but for those of you that either want to try out some new synergies, try some, fun strategies out, or if you're just struggling with Civ 7 and you need a little bit of easier time playing it, I think these mementos could be a really cool way to kind of give some extra variety there. One of the final things they talk about here is what the legend system is not, because they're mentioning here if it's like a battle pass, if you can purchase the mementos, or if you can speed up by paying real money. So basically, are they making the game pay to win? The answer is no, which I am obviously very happy with. So Here they talk about some of the stuff that's included with the Founders and with the Founders edition of the game, like these certain cosmetic items. So those ones obviously are going to be kind of things that you have to pay for, but everything else is just inherently part of Civ 7 that you can only unlock by playing the game, which I think is very good because I'm not a big fan of games where you can just pay a bunch of money to basically bypass all the progression. That's really not a very fun system in my eyes because a lot of the time they make the progression really slow, so that way you are incentivized to purchase it. But luckily in Civ 7, no problems with that here, which I really like. So yeah, my overall thoughts on this Legends and Momentos system. I think that this is a really nice addition to Civ 7. It's something that I don't know if a lot of people are really asking for it, but I think it's something that's just kind of fun and cool. A nice way to track your progress as you play a lot of games of Civ. So they kind of added some of this towards the end of Civ 6 where you could see how many games you won on a particular leader. I forget, maybe it's called the Hall of Fame or something like that, which was kind of nice just because as you play, for people who play a lot of Civ, you can be kind of curious as to which leader you've played the most, what things you've done on each leader. This is a nice way to keep track of that and also give you some more in-game things to give a little bit of gameplay variety. If you want to get a little goofy and you want to give Ben Franklin a sword or whatever, that's something you can do. If you want to just try out some new synergies by putting specific mementos on certain leaders, you can absolutely do that. It gives you a little bit more variety in the gameplay. And I think it's really nice that you can also disable this for things like multiplayer, or even if you're playing single player, you don't have to use any of these, I think, which is a very nice thing, because I imagine that some people are going to want the true, no help allowed Civ game, where they don't want to get any bonuses from these mementos, they don't want to make the game easier, or maybe they just don't like them in general. So I really like the fact that you don't have to use any of this stuff, but it's there as a nice addition if you want to have anything to either spice up the game or just, show off a little bit of how much you've played Civ 7. So overall, I really like this Legends and Momentos system, but let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. So thank you everyone for watching. I have been the Saxy Gamer. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you're looking for some more Civilization 7 content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.